to this brand new must-watch show. If you have any queries on what to study, where, or need help as you apply for your dream job, well, it's all happening here. We're going to try and get you all the questions that you need answered, your concerns addressed, so that you can have all your dreams within reach. Tweet us or even send us your recorded message on our online page. Share your thoughts with us. Remember, if it matters to you, it matters to us. Well, on to our big focus this evening. Ever thought of doing your bit first for the society and earning through it? Well, it's possible, and there's a name for it: social entrepreneurship. You need to be passionate about what you do and have a strong desire for change, and of course a stomach for risk, like all entrepreneurs. All of which Akshat and Amit had when they got into recycling e-waste, a small step which goes a long way in protecting the environment. Kriti spent a day with these social entrepreneurs.
Have you ever wondered how you, sitting at home, can help the environment? Do you realize that by making a phone call and selling your electronics, you actually can help the environment? Do you want to spread some good karma?
We started, it all goes back to about 2007, 2008. When I was in America, then I stumbled upon one of America's largest electronic waste recyclers. Loved the business the moment I saw it, saw great sort of, future for not only the environment, but also having profitability at its core. Got so excited that I actually called up one of my closest college friends growing up, Akshat, who is my co-founder and partner now.
When we started this business, we started going out to the slums and just researching how kabaris were recycling electronics in India. We saw rows and rows of little kids hammering these electronics in open air, releasing toxic fumes into the air, burning the motherboards and the logic boards to extract precious metals from them. When we saw all this stuff happening out in the slums, we thought, fine, there's definitely a need for these electronics to reach some kind of other destination than the slums.
And that's how Karma Recycling was born in April 2013, 8 years after Amir and Akshat graduated from Northwestern University near Chicago. Karma Recycling is a startup that deals with the recycling of electronic waste. We often have a mobile phone or laptop lying in our house that we don't know how to dispose of, especially since it has all our data.
Once devices are collected from people's households, they're brought into Karma Recycling. The first thing that happens to these devices is that they're all barcoded and given a unique identification number. They are then taken into our engineering department, where they are looked at. If the device is in perfectly working condition and has no faults with it, then after the data wipe, the software is rebooted, the device is repackaged and resold on the market to somebody who needs a second-hand device. All the working spares are kept separately for our own use later. All the non-working spares are completely recycled, dismantled back into metals and plastics for reuse and recycling.
The organization runs on a simple philosophy. What may seem as useless to one person can transform someone else's life completely.
We have, in India, wireless devices are now close to 35 million devices are being added, smartphone devices, every year in India. What has been found is that there is a very large social impact to reuse as well. Studies have found in both the West and in India that for every increase of 10% in smartphone and smart devices penetration in the country, it results in almost a percentage of economic GDP growth. The possibility to reuse devices that are taken from people's homes and given to farmers and people in tier 2, tier 4 through 7 towns, which is essentially what Karma does, lands up leading to large economic growth and possibilities for people as they come around the mobile economy.
The ability to change someone's life may sound appeasing to many, but aren't our local kabadiwalas doing the same thing? That's recycling too, isn't it?
When you go through the formal recycling channels, you ensure that this waste that is being unscientifically treated is now scientifically treated and is actually being used to generate metals, plastics that go back into the product development life cycle.
A lot of us have phones in our drawers or almiras, old laptops, old tablets. We don't know what to do with these devices. Most people will either keep them in there because they don't want to give it to a kabadi, because they're attached to that device, or because they don't know what might happen to the data within that device once it's given to someone else. You can give it to the kabadi wala, who'll take it out to the slums. But in the manner in which they will recycle this electronic is extremely harmful to the environment.
That's something to think about right there. The recycling we have been doing, or thinking that we have been doing, is not recycling at all.
At Karma Recycling, we offer you a way we come to your house, we collect your old electronics, we assure data wipe, we send you a payment. The end of a usefulness of a device to you doesn't mean that it's completely useless to everyone else in the world.
The application of science in recycling materials is something most of us haven't thought about. Things are being done the way they have been done for years. With more electronics in our home and pocket, now more than ever, new rules must be written for reusing our electronics the best way possible.
When you go through formal recycling channels and reuse companies such as Karma, you ensure that the price in the reuse market is a barometer for manufacturers to understand how long their products are lasting.
Now that's some good karma you can do right there. In New Delhi with Nishant Atri, Kriti Mathur for NDTV.
Right, so for all of us not very familiar with this, what does it entail? What does it mean? What are the opportunities and options that you have for you after studying this? Well, that's what Usha Albakar is going to answer for us, ma'am. To begin with, there is an entrepreneur, which I think most of us understand what entrepreneurship is about. And then there's this. And then, of course, there's also the whole idea of making some money of it. So would you just explain for our viewers what we're talking about?
This is a relatively new concept, and I think it's become a little more prominent because more and more young people, even those passing out from good management schools like the IIMs, are opting for what is called social entrepreneurship. What it really means are individuals who are finding innovative sort of solutions to some of the social problems that affect society. And then what they're doing is creating an enterprise which is sustainable,
right,
and which may have profit as a not as an objective,
right,
but it sustains itself through profits,
right,
which are then shared among its shareholders, or it could be for non-profit.
Right, well, let's get started with the queries right away. Dhruv here has a question. Go ahead, Dhruv.
I'm completing my bachelor's, so what should be the first step after I complete my bachelor's if I want to get into social entrepreneurship?
I think if you have an idea or you have a skill that you can use, that itself would be the first thing. The second thing is a great amount of commitment, because you're not looking at it as a commercial venture. Commercial to the extent that if the profits are shared, but it's not a pure profit purpose.
And they're not driven by the profit.
Not driven by the,
only,
exactly.
Right.
The second is a certain amount of maturity and emotional stability, particularly if you're looking at working with underprivileged or sections of society where there could be, problems where, you need a certain maturity of being able to handle the kind of problems that you're envisaging from day to day. And of course, a great deal of hard work and willingness to undergo all kinds of difficult conditions before you're able to set it up.
Right. Lots more queries. Let's try and take as many as we can. Rahul here has a question. Go ahead, Rahul.
I'm currently pursuing MHRD from Delhi University. My concern is that why we focus so much of grabbing the highest package being offered in the campus. Instead of we should focus on developing the budding entrepreneur in the campus.
There may be more than one view on that, but it's an interesting question to get, because this is not really something that's been in focus. The headlines are usually grabbed by those who get, the most lucrative placements
But there again, that's what I find is changing right now. There are many, as I said, even from the IITs, IIMs, who are really not looking for the big job package and that kind of thing. And I think even the management institutes, there are some of them that are encouraging what they call incubation centers, where they're helping entrepreneurs set up their venture or giving them some of the skills that they may require. And I think management itself, without necessarily having a course or a training program. Management itself encourages you to,
Right, and it prepares you, yes, and of
is
course it
part of
prepares you, right,
management, you know,
right,
so
right.
you need to know how to manage a venture. And if you also have the other
Right.
skills and qualities.
Right. So, would it be fair to say that you need to have all the skills that say your regular entrepreneur would have,
Yes.
but alongside it, you need to
Yeah.
have a great desire for change and a deep commitment as well. Right. Aprajita from the Delhi School of Economics has a question.
The companies which are doing corporate social responsibility, now that is a mandate, CSR, are we actually doing it? Can social entrepreneurship be considered a part of CSR, and can companies actually bring the change through CSR?
CSR is now being mandated by the companies bill for
2%, right.
yes, for all companies above net profit of 500 crores or 1,000 crore turnover. They have to put in 2% into activities that are socially beneficial, not only to their own workforce and the families, but the community around which
them,
they.
right.
So, which is a corporate way of integrating their work with the community and helping them in development areas, which could be welfare,
Right.
education, health, those various things, schools and things.
Right.
Whereas social entrepreneurship is different in the sense that these are individuals as distinct from corporates. So these are individuals that just branch out on their own. They
Right.
may be single individuals, maybe some people who take classmates along or others who have, and then they use their skills
Right.
and maybe the certain entrepreneurship spirit they may have,
Right.
or able to say, this is what I can do. I recently read about a young man who came out of IIM who actually has set up a sanitary napkin production unit for rural women,
I see.
making it cheaply available for them.
Right.
And
Readily
again, something which is a product which, as an engineering graduate, he felt he could actually put together. And he's got together some friends who are into marketing, and he's actually putting that out. So these are, examples like
small
this,
steps which can lead
which
to
are
giant
really,
leaps, really.
giant leaps,
Right.
and it's distinct. It's not what a company does; it is what an individual does.
Right. Time now for a quick break. Coming up after that, apps designed by, hold your breath, a 13-year-old and the recognition it's earning him worldwide. That's right after this break.